Live stream today. We are going to be talking about the TCL R617 and answering your weekly questions that you guys have. Now, I for one have seen a lot of information around the TCL R6 or R625 rather, and I'm going to be talking about that with you guys today. Now, first thing I've got to do is make sure I turn the audio down here, just so we're not running into issues where audio is interfering with what we're talking about here. I didn't get a chance to do that. I am running behind by like 15 minutes today, so I do apologize for those who are waiting. I'm probably going to turn it down a little bit more than that. I'm going to go actually into the audio visual. We're going to turn that back up, but we'll turn like, what do you say? Why not? We'll just turn it down to like 3. That should be less obtrusive. Alright, so that should help us out a little bit. Now, for the TCL R625, I know a lot of you guys are on the fence between that and the Hisense H9F and other budget TVs on the market right now. And we're going to be talking about it in a very realistic sense. Like, if you are in a certain price point, what is going to be the best TV to look for? And of course, as you guys know, it does boil down to you, but we're going to be talking about a little bit of the features. But before that, what's going on, Metal Crypt 89? What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by, and for everybody who stopped by, Brandon Lee, what's going on? Hope you're doing well as well. And as you can see, you are a moderator now, so congratulations on being one of the people who got promoted to being a moderator. And again, I just want to thank you for being, again, active and all that stuff. Again, the most active people are the ones that become moderators, so I really do appreciate that. Now, what's going on, Rogue Agent? You said, how's your day been so far? If I'm being completely honest, it's been pretty terrible. For the first half of the day, I was really sick with motion sickness and like nausea, because this nerve damage messes with your central nervous system, so it's not a lot of fun. But you know, fighting through it, taking medication, powering through it, that kind of thing. But how's your day going so far, man? Brandon Lee says, thanks Quantum TV. I appreciate that, man. And with that, we're going to start talking about this whole TCL versus you know, everything else. Why would you buy a TCL or a Hisense over Samsung, Sony, and LG? And particularly with the popularity rising around terms like, you know, mini LED, micro LED. I know a lot of you guys are looking at TCL and Hisense more than you probably have ever in your entire lives, because again, a lot of people are excited with new technology in general. Now, that being said, the TCL R625 is a 60 Hz panel. I recently did a video on it, as some of you guys probably already seen by now, just kind of explaining how it may or may not impact you, and for most people might not be that big of an issue. But either way, it's important to talk about it with you guys. So if you guys have, you know, questions or things that you'd like to talk about with the TCL R625, definitely chime in at any time, and I will be giving you guys my thoughts. And again, any questions you have, this is definitely the time for that. Now, let's see what some of you guys are saying here. I have George Lopez. What's going on, man? You said, hey, man, or sorry, hey, brother, what's up? Hope you feeling better. Wish I could feel better, but it is going to take a while. Metal Crypt says, feel better soon. I appreciate that. Richard Hudson, you said, why are picture settings for the Q9FN never posted? I see Q8FN, Q7FN, but never the Q9FN. Honestly, I find that people in general are weird with picture settings. Some people, I don't know, they give out augmented factory settings that aren't really that much better, and other people don't post them all together, but don't worry about that. I've got the Q9FN coming, so rest assured you're going to be getting the best pictures you've ever seen in your life on that display, if that's something you're worried about. And definitely ask around for anyone who's used my settings. You know, word on the street is I'm probably the best out there for picture settings, which is why people light up when I get TVs, because you know I'm going to work on it like a crazy person. So don't worry about it, bro. I got you. What's going on, George? You said, when will you be receiving the Q9FN? You said, I can't wait, bro. I want to see your new settings. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I want to see your new settings you'll be using. It should be getting here by the end of the month. So it's freight, that kind of stuff usually takes a while, but it should be here by the end of the month. So we should be seeing the first settings and stuff like that shortly after. So aim for early September, like around September 1st, depending on where What does it fall on? What does the 30th fall on? It falls on a Monday, so yeah, aim for like September 1st. That's when I'll probably start doing Q9FN content and things like that. And a special note for my Q8FN guys, I have new settings for the Q8FN. I haven't had the chance to post them today, as I was mentioning earlier on. I've been feeling pretty bad all day, but I believe me, I've got some new settings that are pretty incredible. So if you guys like that kind of thing, just hang in there. Dariush, I hope I said your name right. You said, hope you're doing okay, man. Keep up the excellent content. I appreciate your well wishes, and again, just watching the content. And welcome to everybody who is coming on to the live stream now. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Brandon, you said, am I thinking of getting the TCL? I am not. The TCL for me is a no-go. I've never actually got a good panel from TCL, like literally ever, out of like the 3 times with the R617 that I tried. So for me, the R625 is definitely a definite pass on me, because I looked at the build quality and I was actually able to get eyes on and see what it looks like, and I can tell you it's really cheaply made, just like the last TCL. So I'm not really putting my hat on the fact that they're going to deliver dramatically better experience as far as quality control and build quality over, you know, last year's TCL. So I'm skeptical, to say the least. And not only that, but I'm a little bit of a snob. Having a 6 series TV for me is not gonna cut it. I need to be in the high-end bracket. That's just me as a person. I'm not going to, you know, lower myself down to those standards. I mean, because even the Hisense is a flagship TV, the most expensive TV that Hisense makes. And I don't know, I just don't want to go from a flagship level experience down to like a budget TV with good specifications, because specs definitely don't tell the full story. Big shout out to George Lopez for donating $2.99. You said, keep it up, my brother, as always, delivering. I appreciate it, man. And don't worry, when we get the Q9FN in, you'll see those settings come out pretty shortly. So HDR, though, just be mindful, will take me a while to work on, just simply because I've got to factor in the brightness of the Q9FN and also run it through the gamut with all of my normal content. So just be patient with that stuff, but the regular stuff should come pretty soon. What's going on? Metal Crypt, what's up? You said, I'm going to pick up the 65-inch 6 Series, the R625. Yeah, the 6 Series, I mean, while I personally am a little snobbish, to be honest, I mean, it's not a bad TV if you want a TV that, again, has full array local dimming up to 120 zones on the 65-inch. Quantum dot, black levels are going to be there because of all that good stuff. So, I mean, you have good specs, right? And I think that's important to keep in mind. And I mean, that's just me though. Like I'm a little weird when it comes to specifications, because I've been misled with specifications before, like with, you know, Sony's motion flow, or what is it? It's their X motion clarity. I actually was one of the people that believed that it would be like the greatest innovation in technology. So yeah, that clearly didn't happen. It's worse than their regular motion. So that's just my thing there. But if you're picking it up, just let me know what you find, if you find anything, right? Because I'm going to keep my ear to the ground on this one. It's still a very new product. I'm not bashing it by any means. And I want to get you guys' impressions of it, of the actual owners that own the product, because I don't trust the news and all the various little, like, forums and Reddit posters. I just want to hear from you guys, real everyday people. So if you can, let me know how it goes for you. Massive shout out to David S. Class, donated $5 to the channel. You said, I'm looking forward to the new Q8FN settings. You said, here is a small bit towards your Q9FN purchase. Hope you feel better soon. I appreciate it, man. I definitely do. The Q9FN is purchased now, so be a little late on that one, but it definitely goes towards future content, especially since we're rounding out 2019. We're going to definitely be rolling into 2020 with a whole new array of TVs and terminologies, I'm sure. So that you guys, George, David, you guys are really helping us out here by donating, and anyone else that donates, it does help a lot as well. So I want to thank you guys for that, really. We've got David S. Class. You said, hope Q9FN won't be disappointing like the Q90R. I can say, like, I've seen it before, I've calibrated it before. The big thing is, though, with the Q9FN, it's kind of like hit or miss, because there is a panel lottery issue. Like, sometimes you can run into an issue where you have vertical banding, like dirty screen effect, like really bad, and then other times is you have a clean display. So I'm just hoping I don't get that issue, because I know that's a problem. But otherwise, I mean, it's going to be pretty decent all around, I feel. I'm just waiting on seeing, like, hopefully, like, my panel doesn't come cracked because the freight carrier dropped it or destroyed it. You guys know the deal. But that's pretty much where I'm at right now. We've got Brandon Lee saying fair enough. I appreciate it. Now we've got Tim. What's going on, Tim? Thanks for stopping by tonight. You said Q9FN or Q90. Which one would you recommend? I would recommend the Q9FN personally because I had the Q90R and I had it for a pretty decent amount of time to run it through the paces, and comparing it to what I remember just going off of like working around it, the Q9FN is significantly better than the Q90R because that new what is it, that viewing angle filter that they put on the thing, it doesn't do the TV justice. In fact, it actually hurts the TV, diluting the colors and honestly hurting the black levels. Things like game mode are entirely way too bloomy to a point of being unplayable and unenjoyable. So for me, that's ultimately a deal breaker when you talk about like $3,000 at the time I bought it. It was actually $34.99 plus tax, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a really expensive set, even by right now. Like, we're in September and it's still like well over $2,000. So I would definitely buy the Q9FN for $16.99 on Amazon, like I just did. You know what I mean? And have a better display overall with, you know, what I would imagine would be better performance. Of course, I can lose the panel lottery and, you know, have to try again and all that. But either way, I wouldn't put my hat on the 2019 QLEDs from Samsung because Samsung really didn't try this year with their QLED line. I suspect it's because they're going OLED, but I can't really confirm until the company actually confirms stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. Now, what's going on, Darius? What's happening? You said, could you recommend a TV with good motion for gaming? I currently have a 49-inch Q6FN. You said which has a 60 hertz panel, and I find the motion quite a bit blurry. You actually pronounced the name. You actually pronounced my name correctly. That's what's up, man. I usually butcher people's names, so thank you for letting me know I pronounced it correctly. A good TV for motion right now, I mean, the Q8FN is a pretty good TV. Coming from a Q6, I think that'd be the next best move for you, especially since you can pick up a Q8FN for pretty cheap. Q9FN, or not Q9FN, I haven't gotten that yet and tested it with my stuff. I'm talking H9F. They're so similar, all these nines, you know. But the H9F has excellent motion for gaming as well. So if you're worried about motion and gaming, the H9F has some of the better motion I've seen on a television in recent memory. So, you know, that's important to note there too. All right, we've got big shout out to Enoch. He's one of our VIP members here in the community, and as always, thank you for that, Enoch. Now you say ready for your thoughts ready for the premium remote on the Q9FN and your thoughts. Yeah, most definitely. I think the premium remote on the Q9FN is probably like one of the biggest reasons not to buy the brand new Q90R, because that's one of the many scalebacks they've made on the Q90R. They pettily took away the remote, and I just don't understand that. It was a nice remote, looked really sleek, and this year now you're getting their very entry-level remote found on like the RU series, and I don't know. I just think it's just bad form. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. My thoughts so far is so far so good. We'll see how it goes. I'm a very, I don't know, pessimistic person, I guess you could say. I always look for the bad in everything because usually 9 times out of 10, if you look hard enough, you'll find it. And I don't want to be too bubbly and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and then get let down, you know what I mean? So I'm expecting the freight carrier to just suplex it off of a 2-story building, you know? But we'll see how it goes. What's going on, Metal Crip? You said, I definitely will be, I'm sorry, you said, I definitely will, and don't worry about grabbing a 2-year warranty. I'm sorry, and, what did you say? Don't worry, I'm grabbing a 2-year warranty. Okay, gotcha, misread that. With Best Buy, just to cover the panel, in case the panel lottery bites you. And I definitely think that's a good practice if you're worried about getting bit. Manufacturers these days are even more gutter trash than they've ever been, so yeah, I completely understand the need to do that kind of thing. Sadly, we're there as a society, but yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, just to rant for a little second here, I just think it's sad that we have to pay a company to give us a warranty because manufacturers make faulty products and do not stand behind them. I think for me, that's ultimately what makes me walk away from the idea of buying any newer TV, which is why I bought the Q9FN. instead of a 2019 TV, because things are just getting worse and worse. And these updates are being pushed for like buying and promoting their next product line, and I just can't stand it. I'm gonna mess this up, I know already. RS Trouts, what's going on, man? You said, which Amazon seller for the Q9FN? Vans is the seller for the Q9FN right now, and they have it for $16.99. David S. Class, what's going on? You said, is it possible to have settings that work well for both HDR and SDR, especially for the Q8FN? The answer for that question is no, because the metadata is different, and it's just impossible. So it'll probably end up being one of those situations where you'll have your SDR content looking oversaturated and then your HDR looking fine, or vice versa. So you really have to work on getting the settings just right for each individual display, and especially for each individual codec. You know, like if you're watching Dolby Vision, that's different HDR from HDR10, so that's not going to work. HDR10 Plus works differently from regular HDR10, so there's a lot of factors that go into this, and it's a pain in the butt. It really is. It's more trouble than it's worth, and honestly, that's why, for those that wonder, I never use HDR. It's first of all, it's like HDR hasn't been optimized. There is still no standard. We're literally getting sold something that's standardless, which means there is no way to implement it. It's just a free-for-all at this point. And for me, I'm just like, nah, I'm so good on that. And I always keep it off, because if you do any real comparison on a properly calibrated modern display, like a Q8FN or better, I'm telling you right now, you're going to notice like SDR is better than HDR by miles, and it's not even close. You know, and I'll probably do another video showing this off once I get the Q9FN, because that's perceived to be the current best TV for HDR, and I'll just have to show you guys, like, HDR is really not that great. It depends on the studio, it depends on how it was implemented, so ultimately I take a pass on the HDR side of things. But yeah, we've got Brandon, what's going on, man? You said my Q9FN is doing great, and it does have a bit of dirty screen effect, but it doesn't bother me in my content. Only white screens has very slight yellowish tint on some of the screens. Yeah, and that doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't mind having slightly yellow here or there. Like, some uniformity issues are normal, right? I think, like, a lot of people are petty, though, when it comes to TVs, and they see, like, one wrong thing about the television's uniformity, and they think, like, oh my god, this TV is a 0 now. 0 out of 10, 1-star review on Amazon. You guys know the dramatic types. We've probably all read the reviews. I bought this TV, and I have this one dark corner, and it's really doing bad. And it's just like, that's not me, man. But yeah, I appreciate you telling me that. Yeah, most definitely. And you said you're keeping yours offline, which I will also do once it arrives. James, what's going on? You said, in your honest opinion, which would you recommend, the Hisense or the Vizio? Hisense all day, every day. Don't even have to think twice. Reason being, I'll give you a real reason on that. Reason being is because Vizio did not try. They didn't try to button up their TV in that. Every time you power it on, especially with their 2019 line, you're going to have that clouding nonsense, like, and it's really noticeable. Now, some people think that that's a petty issue, but Sony doesn't really have that problem as far as their 2017 TVs go, and that started like on Sony TVs around like the 930, I would say. So not really even then. Like, I mean, this is a problem on Sony, not Samsung. I haven't seen it on a TCL. I haven't seen it on many other brands. LG doesn't have that problem, but for whatever reason, Vizio has that problem. Now, the problem with Vizio extends far beyond just seeing clouding and blooming when you power it on. They also have motion issues, and this, for me, was where I walked away from Vizio opposed to the Hisense. Because when you get to the motion aspect of your TV, it's bad. Like, go see my motion video of the Quantum X versus the H9F. Good God. Like, it was juddery, it chops, like, and that's what it actually does. And by slowing it down, I was able to show you what the motion was able to do, and I'm telling you, it's just not good. I would not buy a Vizio TV ever, personally. That's just my personal feeling on the matter. Not only because, like, I have personal issues with Vizio as far as how they handled my return in 2016 when I bought their first P-Series television. Took them 3 months to refund me. Yeah, that wasn't fun. But also because their TVs actually don't live up to what they claim. They claim 1100 nits on the P-Series Quantum 2019 regular, but then you get it, and it's not hitting that ever. Like, it didn't even hit it once. And that really disappointed me. And then the 3000 nit claim on the P-Series Quantum X, it never did that once. So, I mean, Vizio's false advertising because they know a lot of people are excited about peak brightness and full array local dimming and all that stuff, and don't get caught up into that, man. Hisense, though, isn't perfect. They do have their own problems as well. They have some vignetting. They have some dark corner issues for some displays. I heard it's really prevalent on the 55-inch H9F, but I haven't had the chance to verify that yet. But either way, if we're talking raw picture quality, the Hisense is going to be the better picture quality overall, and that's just kind of how I go about it, just being real with you, letting you know that. So I hope you found that helpful. What's going on, Brandon? Oh, I already read that one. You said you're offline. David S. Class, you said, thanks. My wife is too non-technical to switch settings. And you said, I find HDR very inconsistent and kind of weird looking at times. Yeah, and I think that's really sad. Like, you'd think for such a premier technology that they would get their act together and give us something more than washed out color. You know, it's funny, as I just started the live stream a little bit ago, I had the HDR on for some reason on my PlayStation 4. It toggles on sometimes. I don't know. It's weird, but it toggled on, and I noticed immediately colors were washed out, and I'm like, what the hell happened to my Q8FN? Like, it never used to look like this, and of course it's HDR, and I didn't have it calibrated up because, you know, I hit reset and all that other stuff on my settings, but needless to say, it's pretty annoying when you don't get the whole next world of color that they're promising you on these HDR standards. So, very unfortunate stuff. So I completely agree with you, most definitely there. Now, Brandon, you said Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has really bad HDR. Yeah, I'm noticing that's a reoccurring trend as well with these video games. I'm noticing Red Dead Redemption 2 had a problem apparently. I haven't played the game. I don't dig westerns, so that's just kind of like my thing. But, I mean, I heard it was really bad for HDR. And I know for a fact Injustice 2 has one of the worst HDR implementations I've ever seen, still to this day. I mean, it's pretty terrible. So, yeah, HDR is one of those technologies, why waste your time? And, you know, it's really messed up because if you ever buy, like, a 4K HDR movie, like pretty much all of us are doing right now, you're getting into a situation where they're messing with the gamma curve of the 4K movie to accommodate HDR. They're expecting, basically, you're going to buy this HDR movie and you're going to watch it in HDR all the time. But the thing is, or rather this 4K movie and watch it in HDR all the time. And so, like, what I like to do is turn HDR off and just watch a plain 4K movie, like 4K SDR. And 9 times out of 10, the Blu-ray variant looks a lot better because they're not messing with it for the sake of HDR. It's kind of like 3D back in the day, where 3D, if you watch it without the glasses, it obviously looks distorted and stupid. And that's kind of what's happening with a lot of movies nowadays with this HDR nonsense, which is a shame because I don't use HDR and I have no plans on changing that because it's standardless. And when there's no way of going about doing something, I'm not going to waste my time with it because they haven't figured it out yet, clearly. And it's way too new. But that's my little slight rant there. Now, we've got a question coming in from Sammy Orta. You said, I stopped by Best Buy in New Tampa? What's New Tampa? I didn't even know there was a place called New Tampa. Is that like here in Florida? New Tampa? I didn't know that. All right, so you said in New Tampa, you said the H9F is all sold out. And yeah, it is in Florida. That's weird. New Tampa. I've never heard of that. Huh. That's strange. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that was even a place. Where's New Tampa, by the way? Like, I don't even know where New Tampa is. You know? I don't know. I don't know where New Tampa is. And Sammy, you said you stopped by and you were looking. Were you looking for like a recommendation, or like you're just kind of like just letting me know? We've got. Hold on. James, you said. You said Old Tampa, New Tampa. Old Tampa and New Tampa. I gotta look into this Old Tampa and New Tampa thing. Like, I don't even know anything about Tampa, Florida, to be honest with you. And you were like letting you know. Yeah, so I appreciate that, man. James, what's going on? You said I only really asked because I've owned a Vizio for a couple of years, and you said now, and I've not had an issue with it, but I'm looking to upgrade, better color, better picture. Hisense and Vizio are budget TVs. Yeah, I mean, Vizio is one of those brands, like, if you don't have an issue with it, like, I probably sound like an alien to you, like with anything else. I mean, if I'm telling people how bad a television is, right, and then they own that TV and they got lucky, right? Or, you know, they're never running into the problem. Of course, I'm going to sound like a guy with 4 heads, but, you know, either way, I'm just trying to give you guys the solid information that I've found within my experience, you know, just professionally calibrating, using it, and buying and testing these TVs for the channel as well. But if you haven't had any problems with a Vizio TV, I will say you fall into a very rare bracket of person, most definitely, and be thankful for that, because that's not a very common thing. Most people usually have at least 1 or 2 issues with their Vizio, just saying. As far as Hisense and Vizio being budget brands, they most definitely are. They are trying to change that, but they are budget brands. So for me, I always go into it expecting some form of handshake issue, because usually on budget TVs, HDMI ports aren't the best. You usually have problems with quality control as well, like build designs and things like that. So for me, that's just kind of like what I always run to look for in a budget TV as far as an issue and check first. So I don't know, that's just my little thing that I'm letting you guys know. But we've got Gears 5 looks, hold on, Gears 5 is really good, but I haven't seen it in HDR yet. I haven't actually even played Gears 5, Brandon. I'm still on Gears 4, and I haven't even beaten Gears 4. I bought it on sale and haven't touched it since, really. But it's a really fun game, so I feel kind of stupid because I like go back in it and I'm like, wow, this is really fun. Why have I not beaten this game? So I don't know. I just don't have the time like I used to. What's going on? Silent Wake 5 KY. You said, my dude, how excited are you for that Q9FN? LOL. I'm pretty darn excited, I'm not gonna lie. You know me, like, I'm one of those guys, right? I will not buy a TV until it approaches what I believe is a fair price, because I mean, I work around this crap all day, and it's pretty annoying, but the only good thing about it, really, in my opinion, is I could help my family, right, when it comes to making these decisions. And I think $16.99 for Q9FN, because they're trying to blow it out before Black Friday so that they can sell the Black Friday units of 2019 at low prices. I think that's a killer good deal for me, because now I'm walking away a champion. You know what I mean? I have essentially the best of 2018 as far as flagship TVs go, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun, to say the least. Definitely excited. We've got Sammy said, still enjoying my 930E, which you put me on ATT at the time. Yeah, I mean, it's a great TV. The 930 is pretty solid. I just hate the blooming and the motion. If they buttoned those things up, I would probably say it would have been the best TV, probably for quite a while. He said, sorry, no sleep. My text is off. My texting is off. You're good, bro. No problems here. We've got Silent Wake. You said it's down considerably, very reasonable. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Reasonable pricing is what we all look for. I know some people that just will straight up not buy a TV at all unless they get it refurbished. I don't agree with it, but I mean, some people just want the best deal on a television. So, I mean, I can understand. These things are ridiculously priced, especially nowadays. I mean, they used to never be this high up, and now you're talking like even the budget models are saying we want $2,000. It's because the business has grown and consoles are more popular, and you know, you have Apple TV and, you know, all these other devices, so everybody wants a piece of the pie. You can only imagine. But with the TCL R625, I think it poses a little bit of not only a challenge to the market, but also to consumers, because it's going to force us to reconsider how we look at high-end products and low-end products and start to assess, is a name brand really important, which has actually never happened before in like TV history. So we are kind of in a historical time, so to speak, where budget brands are actually stealing the spotlight from the big guys, because the big guys got so lazy that they've allowed the smaller ones to take over. Like, what? It's actually pretty crazy. But I don't know, man. For my feelings with the TCL, I feel like it's got potential for sure. I just know that there's something, just a real big downside to it that those specs obviously didn't tell you, and I can't wait to know what that is. But Sadly, I'll be sitting out on the TCL R625. I'll probably just wait until I run into it at work or something. But, you know, to get it home and to unbox it and all that, I mean, I'm not really doing all that. I got the Q9 coming. I'm going to be chilling and showing you guys what the Q9 is capable of. And yes, for those who are a little bit on the skeptical side of things, or rather like thin-skinned side of things, I guess, when I talk about other publications, I will definitely be verifying the claims that have been made about the Q9 FN star-crushing issues, and not only that, but just how aggressive its local dimming is. I'm gonna fact check some things, most definitely, for you guys, because I know it sucks when, you know, you guys have only like maybe a couple hundred subscribers on a channel. You don't get the ability to show that you know what you're talking about. So I know a lot of you guys have actually been, from like day one of that thing launching, been telling me just how crazy it is that the mainstream guys haven't reported fairly on it. Like J-Tech, he's been one of the main guys out there that's actually been saying, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with this TV, and they literally are lying because OLED, you know? And that's just kind of the craziest thing. I don't understand the loyalty behind products, but it is what it is. Now, we've got questions coming in from Eddie. What's going on? You said, bro, I'm so broke, I bounced a money order. Wait, what? It's a joke, right? Like, I don't know if you're serious or I don't know if you're joking, but like that was pretty funny though. I don't know. I'm so broke I bounced a money order. What happened, Eddie? I mean, what happened, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, you can't just leave me on that cliffhanger, man. I'm like looking for more. I'm like, what happened? There's more to the story. What's going on, Isaac? What's happening, man? You said, hey, Quantum, how's it going? Finally got to show up to a live stream. Good times. Hope you and the family are doing well. Can't wait to see your Q9 FN. I really appreciate your support, Isaac. Thank you for stopping by tonight. The family's doing good. I'm doing as good as I can do in my current condition, but at the same point in time, biting through it. And yes, that Q9 FN is definitely going to get here within the month, provided the freight carriers don't, again, slam it off of a second-story building or something like that, and then hand it to me. But yeah, I'm excited for it, definitely. I can't wait to do the content for you guys. Be a lot of fun. What's going on, James? You said, I know in the past you've recommended sticking to smaller screen sizes, around 55 inches opposed to 65, due to issues over time. Do you still stand by that? Yes, I still stand by that. The only reason I have to go up to a 65-inch, because I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, like, I've said this one thing, and now I'm doing something else. Well, the reason for that is because, for those that don't know, my health isn't what it used to be, and a part of my nerve damage condition is my vision starts going. And now I don't have the ability to see a 55-inch screen as easily as I was able to, so I have no choice but to upgrade. That's literally the only reason why I'm still not sitting on my Q8 FN every single day and using that 55-incher, because I need a bigger screen for my health reasons. But otherwise, yes, you get lower pixel density when you go up to larger screen sizes. It is a very bad idea, typically, especially because uniformity issues are more noticeable at larger screen sizes. I see guys talking about they can't wait to get an 85-inch TV at 4K resolutions, and I'm just gonna say it flat out. That is a bad idea, because you're losing so much of your picture by, you're just cropping the image, guys. You're over expanding it and you're losing that pixel density, resulting in a lower resolution television. 75 inches and 80 and all that other stuff, that's not only 8K territory, but it's pretty munder optimized for our current displays right now. So just be mindful of that. I honestly don't believe at 4K you should go any higher than 65 inches. I really don't. Of course, I mean, it's my opinion. You can take it or leave it, of course, like with anything, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But yes, so that's the reason behind that, and I do still stand by what I said there. What's going on, Sammy? You said, what are you expecting for 2020? What do you want these companies to do instead of cutting corners? So for 2020, I'm expecting a big play on mini LED, micro LED, dual layer LED, and 8K. They're going to run with those until they make a profit, because right now they don't have 12-bit panel technology, which is the actual true revolution behind HDR and all of the future displays that we're looking forward to. So they have to say something to get us kind of excited. And oh, by the way, they're also going to be pushing budget OLEDs for the first time ever. And I just see that as a complete and total farce, because budget OLEDs have always been more prone to issues down the road than anything else. So I cannot wait until they create these OLEDs, throw a garbage dumpster price tag on them, and people start realizing that's not the way. You got to make quality products, support true RGB, find a way to get rid of burn-in, and address all of the many year-long complaints of OLED. But that's just where I'll stop there. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot of play on a lot of gimmick tech and not really a lot of substance this year, or the upcoming year, should I say. What I want them to do, independent channels seriously, and from consumers who have gotten bad products, and stand behind their stuff, give us better warranties, and make sure that their ears to the ground for everything, so that way we can get better TVs. I mean, that's really what I would want. Now, whether it happens or not, well, you guys know that's probably not going to happen. Let's see, we've got David S. Class, what's going on, man? You said, how important is contrast modulation? I mean, I guess it's important from the standpoint of, obviously you want the purest resolution and contrast possible, but if you don't notice already, you're probably not going to notice. And then, of course, these things are very difficult for a consumer to even check on their own without special equipment that professionals have. So, I mean, it's not really that important. I think just make a sharp display that makes people say, wow, a really colorful, really beautiful display, and that should be enough, I think, personally. I mean, if we're talking about everyday people, not like the snobbish enthusiast community you'll find on some forum somewhere, but I'm talking like in general, like us everyday folk. I mean, like, honestly, yeah, I think you'll be just fine. It's not that important. Now let's move on to Darish. What's going on? You said, are there any upcoming televisions you'd like to get your hands on? I mean, not really. I'm not really impressed with 2019, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty over it, to be honest with you. Can't stand TVs. I do it so much. Like, this is kind of like more of like a public service thing to kind of give back information. But like, if you guys didn't know, I actually really hate TVs because I do this for a living. And could you imagine getting off work and then going right back to work? That's kind of what I do. I do it. It's fun because you guys make it fun. You know, I've got people like George Lopez, David S. Class, Enoch, David Gonzalez. I mean, I've got so many different people. Metal Crip. I mean, I've got a lot of you guys. Sammy, Crash. You guys are all very supportive. Eddie R. Like, you guys are fantastic. And, you know, I do it for you guys, but ultimately, yeah, no, I really do hate TVs. They're really annoying. They don't make enough improvements. And I always have to be like some sort of like bad guy, some villain, you know? Always talking about mainstream publications don't deliver. And people ignore the hell out of me anyway. You know, I get called every name in the book. You open up the comment section, it's littered with insults and cusses and this, that, and the thirds and everything. And it's crazy. But I do it because I understand how important it is not to get ripped off. And if I don't tell you, you will get ripped off because nobody else gives a damn about telling you. Everybody's trying to make that quick YouTube money, dude. I'm just being real with you. Like, it's so easy to sell out because it's entrepreneurial, and you just literally sit there and sell somebody a dream. If I sold you the dream that every TV I reviewed was positive, I'm sure I'd have more subscribers, and all of you guys would love me 10 times more. But the reality is I don't do that trash. I'm just keeping it real, and whatever it costs me is what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's kind of where I am as far as TVs. I don't really care about them. I'm actually looking forward to get my hands on some video games this year, but some movies as well. I've got my eye on a couple movies, but that's pretty much it. We've got Eddie. You were like, it was a joke. I was just lightening the mood. I appreciate it, man. I'm really bad at getting jokes that I have to think on when I'm reading comments, so don't mind me. I mean, it was funny. I'm just messing around, but, you know, I don't mean to have a tense mood or anything like that here. Just trying to chill. Now, what's going on? We've got Crash. What's going on? You said hello, and I'm like saying what's up, bro. We've got Sammy Orta. What's going on? You said great answers though. Questions. You said great answer though. Questions. You are on point, brother, and I appreciate that, Sammy. I appreciate it a lot. What's going on, Bob? You said, so what's the verdict on the new TCL, homie? The new TCL, I think, give it a try. Give him a chance. I mean, you never want to be that jerk that's always just like, I hate it just because it's new. But at the same point in time, go into it cautiously because TCL is pulling a bigger, badder, better, but they're not telling you what they're holding back on, and that 60 hertz panel has me a little concerned because TCL is notorious for motion issues. That's just my thing there. No, this is not pre-recorded. We are actually live right now. What's going on, Silent Wake? You said, you're not the villain, man. Information and honesty is power in our hands. It's our time and money to take advantage of, and you said you don't do that. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people kind of don't really pay attention to. Like, it's your time, it's your money, and, you know, I try to save you guys that stuff. So I do appreciate at least one person, two people, however many I can reach, acknowledging that this is hard to do. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, let's break the fourth wall right now. Right now, I'm doing a live stream trying to help answer questions and talk about the new product that's launching so you don't get screwed over. But at the same time, I'm a human being. Like, just like everybody else, I don't want to see anybody get screwed over, right? Like, we're in it to, like, help each other out. And that's, if I could do that for you, cool. So, I appreciate it. What's going on, Crash? We've got, when did you first become interested in calibrating TVs? Well, that's a good question. It started with photography, so it's just from there, really. It's not really of a profound interest, for those that don't know. I'm actually, believe it or not, more into photography than TVs, and it started because I was like always calibrating my monitors, making prints, having to know color science for those prints, and like all this other nonsense. And then once you get good enough, you start realizing that your television is not looking as accurate as you would like, and then you start researching, and then you learn that, you know, hey, you know, you can actually help people see a better image quality. And so I got into calibrating TVs, learned how to do it, and the rest is all history. So, yeah. What's going on? Mike, what's happening? You said thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate it. Olympus, you said, what TV is this game played on? I'm playing this on my Samsung Q8FN 55-inch. What's going on, Dat New York Swagger? What's happening? You said, hello, Quantum. Hello. We've got David S. Class. You said, are you tired of Marvel movies yet? I am. I'm not going to lie. I am. Believe it or not. Like, I'm one of those late to the party kind of people. Just recently got the Avengers Endgame and watched it. And man, the cheesiest crap ever. They had all the girls come out and do this big dramatic, like, super, like, feminist thing, and I'm just like, all right, I mean, good for you, girls are strong, all right. I mean, this is a bit unnecessary, though. It had the most unlikable actress ever, Brie Larson, go over to Spider-Man and go, hey, you got something for me? And I'm just like, oh my God, will you stop? They just did a lot of over dramatic, you know, posturing. So yeah, I'm definitely sick of that in Marvel movies. I think just worry about the storyline, maybe. That'd be great, because people are sick of this, but they don't really care. If they have something they want to push, they're going to push it anyway. It's Disney, you know what I mean? Enough said. Disney. It's the only word you have to say. But, yeah. So what's going on? Mike, you said you're going to save me a lot of money. Keep it real. Most definitely plan on it. We've got ADR London D. What's happening? You have, you said TCL 8 series. Your opinion? I think it's promising too much. And I think when there's that much hype, there's a lot of room to be disappointed. So set the bar low. So that way, if it's better, great. But I just think that a lot of people are expecting it to be, I don't know, like the bee's knees. And again, it is a TCL. The processor, I'm expecting to be pretty weak by comparison to a lot of other stuff. And that's just kind of how these things fall out. We've got David S. Class. How's your new camera? Do you like it? I actually haven't gotten a new camera yet. Pretty disappointing. I got a new lens recently, and I do love my new lens. It's nice, it's sharp, and I got the nice, proper kind of like tack sharp stuff that I look for photography. So it's a lot of fun. And still looking to upgrade the camera though, but I want to make sure that when I upgrade, it's a massive upgrade that will keep me good for like a good little minute, you know what I mean, like forever if I can. But of course it's not realistic, but as close to that as I can get. That's my goal. So thanks, man. We've got Olympus E said, you like Apple or Android phones? Android. I don't touch Apple with a 10-foot pole at all. They are not only toxic in their constant, and I mean constant, arrogant posturing about like why they don't add headphone jacks and why you don't need it, and everything's proprietary, and it's just very pompous in that regard. But then also their products aren't that great. Like they really aren't. by comparison to Android, I like having an open market to download apps from, where Apple's like, screw you, you get what we give you. I don't like that attitude, especially if I'm paying. So that's just my thing. And then there's, of course, the other stuff that Apple does that I won't say here, but yes, there is that too. What's going on, Silent Wake? I'm always messing up your name. I'll just say Silent Wake, because to say the whole thing is kind of going to throw me off a little. You said, I know, man, that girl scene was just took you out of the movie. Yeah, exactly. You're like, it was kind of a cheese fest after 20-something movies. I mean, it's beyond a cheese fest at this point. It's just like, it's kind of like if you were to go into a grocery store and at every register they had a woman, and every woman had like a or something like that before they started ringing up or something like that. I think that would be pretty much the equivalent to how cheesy the Marvel movies have gotten. So yeah, it took me out of the movie most definitely. I know there are people that disagree with that, but I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's too much. It just stop. Just make the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I saw Into the Multiverse for the first time on Netflix quite recently. Yeah, it's Into the Multiverse. Spider-Verse is what it is. Sorry, Into the Spider-Verse, and I actually really enjoyed the movie, like, a lot. I loved the storyline, but what killed it is when they just, again, they do the whole like modern age thing that they do to movies where they just break Spider-Man, and I just don't understand it. I mean, like, and then you had like the Gwen Stacy. My God, what'd they do to Gwen Stacy? She looks like she's ready to go like loot and riot. I mean, really, she doesn't look like Gwen Stacy at all, like at all. But that's just me. I don't know. I don't like that degenerate stuff. That's Marvel these days. What's going on, David S. Class? He said, I love Captain Marvel, but portrayed, but Notice? What's Notice? Notice portrayed Brie Larson? Notice portrayed by Brie Larson. I don't know what that is. I don't know. What's going on, Crash? You said, have you tried using Sony's X950G remote on the 900E? I use that quite often. It's the only way I use my 900E now. So, yep, I have tried it. I do have a 950G remote on a 900E, and it works great. David S. Class, do you like Sony cameras? I only shoot Sony, so most definitely. It's a great little pastime, most definitely, when you're not working, to just sit there and buy a bunch of cameras and play around with them and things like that. And Sony, for all intents and purposes, have always been my favorite as far as lenses and things of that nature. Hugh, what's going on? You said, what's the best 75-inch TV to buy? I don't really recommend 75 inches, but maybe the Q9 or Q8 FN. But seriously, I don't recommend that size. I mean, that's just my personal thing. Like, I don't really recommend it. What's going on, JKNZ? Whoa, I've said that wrong. JKNZ01. Whatever. I'm messing up the name, but how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by tonight. You said, I don't know if you've answered this, but I was going to... Sorry, but I was going to get the Hisense, but seen the TCL and love the Roku system, so now I'm stuck. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, you know, if it works for you, perfect. David S. Class, you said not as... I don't know, I'm stumped. What's going on, Crash? You said, now I'm interested in buying a new 2019 remote from eBay to use on my X930E. That'd be pretty boss, and if you can find it, do it. What's going on, Silent Wake? You said, back to the TCL. Is that 8 series dual layer mini LED or just mini LED? It's just a mini LED display. It is not going to 100% mitigate all halos and all blotchiness, so if you step off angle on every pretty much mini LED TV right now, you're still going to see that blooming, so that's still not a replacement for OLED. But overall, I think even full array technology right now is beyond the point where it would even matter, so I don't think we have anything to worry about there. At this time, I do want to wrap up by saying thank you to all of you guys who stopped by. You guys are fantastic, and it has been fun, and yeah, I'm going to just keep my ear to the ground for the TCL R625. Hopefully they do a good job. Hopefully they don't disappoint, but honestly, I have to get my hands on it, which at this point will only happen through work, because I have no intention on actually buying it for myself, since I do have the Q9 FN coming, and will have my hands quite full with optimizing that display. That being said, I'm going to answer the last questions here. Olympus says, H9F, still great. Yes, it's still a fantastic TV, and I absolutely love it. Best TV of 2019 that I've seen so far, point blank, period. out of everything that you've seen on this channel. We've got back to me. Oh, sorry, it just lagged again. So love your content. Continue what you do. I appreciate it, Kinsey. We've got Silent Wake. You said thanks for the thanks Q. And we've got Chris R that says garbage. So I don't know what particularly is garbage, but yes, let's go with that. So that being said, I want to thank again all you guys for stopping by tonight. If you guys want more information, you guys have questions, make sure you stop by these live streams, because they're the time where I can answer this stuff. I know a lot of you guys are on Facebook right now, and I don't have the time to go through and answer everybody. So these live streams are the way to get those questions answered. If you can, spread the word with people who are wondering about that in the comment section. And with that, until the next video, guys, I'll see you later.